So today we're going to talk about something that's, well, it can feel like a superpower for some people and honestly a real burden for others. We're talking about high interpersonal sensitivity. We're going to break down exactly what that is, where it comes from, and the 6 key signs that might just make you go, hey, that's me.
Let me ask you something right off the bat. Do you ever feel like you're just operating on a different frequency than everyone else? You're picking up on all these little social cues and emotional undercurrents that seem to fly right past most people. If that sounds familiar, then you are definitely in the right place.
Okay, the first and maybe the most important thing we need to do is reframe this whole idea. High sensitivity isn't some kind of flaw or a weakness. Not at all. It's an advanced skill. And for a lot of people, it was forged out of a deep primal need to survive.
So what are we really talking about here? Well, interpersonal sensitivity is basically a heightened awareness. It's the ability to see the invisible currents in a room, the tiny little cues, the behaviors that last a split second, the shifts in emotion. Think of it this way. It's like you're seeing the social world in high definition, while a lot of other people are still watching in standard def. And where this comes from is pretty profound. This skill was often built in environments where paying super close attention wasn't just a good idea, it was essential. Essential for your emotional, maybe even your physical safety. You learned to read the room because you had to, just to feel okay.
All right, so what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's dive into the first 3 signs, which are all about this incredible ability to read a room. Okay, first up, this one is all about processing speed. How fast your brain is grabbing and analyzing data that other people just, well, they filter out.
You catch the stuff that most people don't even register. A jaw that clenches for just a fraction of a second, a smile that doesn't quite reach the eyes, or that sudden dead stillness that comes over someone when they feel challenged. You see these micro-behaviors instantly.
Now let's switch gears from what you see to what you hear. The second sign is all about hearing the stuff that's happening between the words.
See, you don't just hear words, you hear the music behind them. You're super tuned into tone. You can detect the exact moment the warmth just vanishes from someone's voice, or when their enthusiasm suddenly sounds forced. It's a frequency that most people's ears just aren't built to catch.
And for our third sign, we're going to look at the negative space in a conversation. The powerful information you can find in what isn't being said.
Number 3 is all about the little gaps between the words. You are a master at noticing hesitation. That half-second pause before someone says sure that tells you they don't mean it. Or that sudden flood of extra nervous details that just screams anxiety. You get it. Sometimes the most important stuff is found in the silence.
Okay, those first 3 were about reading the room. The next 3 signs, though, they go even deeper. This is about moving past just observing and starting to put all that data together to feel out the real truth of a situation.
Coming in at number 4 is a big one. It really gets to the core of trusting your gut over what someone is telling you. It's all about spotting that disconnect between their words and, well, everything else. So the 4th sign, you're basically a human lie detector. You are constantly tracking the mismatches between what someone says and what their body is doing. They might be saying, oh yeah, I love to help, but you see their shoulders tense up and their body language is screaming, no. And this is key. You instinctively trust what you see over what you hear because the body, it almost never lies. Now, the 5th sign is where this whole skill starts to feel, almost psychic. But it's not magic. It's actually about really deep pattern recognition. It's about sensing what's really driving people.
Sign number 5 taps right into your intuition. You sense the real intention behind the action. You're the one who knows when charm isn't charm, it's a tool for control. Or when praise isn't just a compliment, it's got hooks in it. It's that powerful gut feeling telling you something is just off.
And that brings us to the final sign. This is really the grand finale, where all the other skills come together, letting you see the whole picture way before anyone else does.
And finally, number 6, which is really the result of all the others working together. You spot dishonesty early. And this isn't mind reading, okay? It's more like rapid data analysis. You're tracking patterns over time. You're noticing when the timing is weird or when the little details of a story start to change. You're connecting dots that other people don't even know exist.
So there you have it, the 6 signs. But, just identifying them, that's only step 1. The real power, the real game changer, comes from what you decide to do with this knowledge.
And here is the most powerful part of this whole thing.
What started out as a survival skill, something that was probably draining and totally exhausting, it doesn't have to stay that way. It has the potential to become one of your greatest, most powerful strengths.
And this right here is the critical difference. When it's a survival skill, it's always on. You're constantly on guard, scanning for threats, and man, is it draining. But when you turn it into a permanent strength, it becomes a tool that you use by choice. You are in the driver's seat. You decide when to turn it on, and, just as importantly, you decide when to turn it off.
So when you boil it all down, this heightened sensitivity isn't just about what you can perceive in other people. It's about what you choose to do with that insight. Are you going to use it to build better relationships, make smarter choices, to protect your own peace? The real question is, what's your next move?